GLAM, Los Angeles.
Hi, Kirby. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to Los Angeles. Congratulations, Kirby Johnson.
On what?
We're nominated.
We are. We're nominated for People's Reader's Choice Poll for the most beautiful issue. When we got this email,
I was like, what?
At first, I was like, are we nominated as like most beautiful podcast hosts? And then no, we're not, but close. We're nominated in the Reader's Choice category for Best Beauty Advice. We're among some amazing podcasts, Fat Mascara, Well by Ariel Laurie, and Lipstick on the Rim by Molly Sims.
Yeah, really good company.
Now we have to get Molly on our podcast and do a swap with her because we've done it with Ariel and
oh my God, you're right.
Other girls.
Yeah. But you guys, please vote for us. I don't know. When does it end? Do you know?
April 15th. Okay. I believe you can vote as many times as you want. We've told the Slack. I'm going to send a mass email. I'm going to put it in the group chat.
Pretend it's like Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
Where you're just constantly pressing the button.
Please.
Yeah.
We're very excited. And I think that we're the 7th slide, if that matters. So
yes. Thank you, people.
Thank you, people.
This was really a surprise. We did not know that.
We had no idea, but you know what?
Nominated.
They cover our stuff a lot. So
they do. They're good people there.
We're
very grateful.
Yes. Okay, we have a lot of news to get through, so we're just going to dive right in. First and foremost, Ultraviolet is now at Sephora.
Woohoo! Not Ultraviolet. Ultraviolet.
Not Ultraviolet, Violet. I know that some of y'all were mad at me because I used to say Ultraviolet or Violet. I can't even remember at this point. And
Violet.
Was not.
Honestly, though, French pronunciation, I think it's Violette.
But so the way that this, yes, you're right. And the way this is written that's not Violet. That's Violet.
Yeah.
ETTE.
So
we weren't. And also, I have to tell you, the founders used my soundbite of saying ultraviolet in their promotion of the fact that they are now at Sephora. So it clearly is not that big of a deal.
It's not that big of a deal.
The
biggest deal is that
they're at Sephora.
They're at Sephora and we can buy it in the United States.
Hallelujah. So Sarah and I have had the products, the U.S. formulations, because I think that's the biggest thing that people have been asking about. How different are these formulations from the ones that you would pick up around the rest of the world? That's what made them so great. And they are different. They're made with ingredients that are okay to use here in the U.S. So I can't personally speak to whether or not it is irritating to the skin or if it makes your eyes burn, because I've never had that problem in general. There's only one sunscreen I've ever had that happen with me, and it was La Roche-Posay. And I remember going, oh my God, I now know what people are talking about when their eyes start stinging from sunscreen. Yeah. I was sweating profusely. It was getting my eyes. It was terrible.
Yeah.
I have not sweat enough wearing this new formulation to be able to tell you that my eyes got irritated or that my skin got irritated. But the formulations feel and look identical.
Totally.
However, the benefit of having a sunscreen that's not made here in the US is that they get to use these more advanced sunscreen filters that are way less irritating.
Yes.
So, and then the other formulations, like the mineral sunscreen is the same formulation because it can be.
Exactly, yeah. I was just going to say, so I used Vibrant Screen on myself, the kids, Matt, the entire family on vacation, and no one complained about it being irritating at all whatsoever, and it was wonderful.
And that's the Face and Body sunscreen.
Exactly.
Yeah, I really like that version. They have different names now for certain products.
Yeah.
So there's the Future Screen. This is the fluid facial sunscreen. It's fragrance-free, SPF 50. I'm wearing that today under my makeup. I think it is so beautiful. It says it's a modern mineral sunscreen. I think they have a version of this originally, but it's not called Future Screen.
It's called Fave Fluid, right?
Okay, yes, and it's in a different bottle.
Yes.
I didn't like it as Fave Fluid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never gravitated towards it. This one I really gravitate towards. The only thing I'll say about Future Screen, though, is that because it is a fluid and it is runny, I do have issues with the nozzle dispensing product when it's not in my hands.
Yep.
I will dispense it, put it on the sink, and then pick it back up, and then there'll be sunscreen on the sink. So I do think they got to figure that out. It is a little messy, but I do love it. I think I mean, I'm using Supreme Screen regularly. I
Yep.
actually really like the Velvet Screen mattifying mineral. They call that, I think, lean screen in the original form.
Okay.
So I didn't ask them during our Zoom when they were announcing this launch over here in the US
Why they
changed the names. I think that might be a little confusing for people if they have been hoarding it from
Did they change
international
it
trips.
universally?
I don't think so.
So maybe that it's like an indicator of like you're getting the US version, you know?
Okay. Yeah, totally.
And maybe it also helps avoid like dupes. I don't know.
Totally. So if you are interested in trying Ultraviolet, they have violet. There we go. See, Ultraviolet. They have a mini SPF mates duo, which is so cute. I love these. I love having them for travel. But it includes the Supreme Screen and then also the Velvet Screen. So the mineral and the chemical. And Supreme Screen is the one that everybody knows and loves. That's the one they've kept the same name. So I don't know really why they changed lean to velvet or whatever, or why now Vibrant Screen is the face and body.
You'll find out.
We'll find out at some point. Whatever, they work. That's all that really matters to me.
They work. The formulations are beautiful, and you can get them at Sephora.
You can get them at Sephora.
The TLDR of it.
Yes, it is. Thank you to our friends at Amazon for sponsoring this news segment. Sarah, how often do you buy from Amazon?
Literally every day. Sometimes multiple times a day.
Wow. I have had to pat myself on the back for being so much more conscientious about buying stuff on Amazon. I love buying groceries on Amazon.
Great.
That's been so helpful for me personally because I can just go through and see the same things that I order every week and stay consistent on like my meal schedule.
Yeah.
But I also have beauty subscriptions. Do you get a subscription every month?
Oh, yes. Yeah. So I feel like the gateway drug for me was having children. And I don't know how people have kids without having an Amazon subscription. I don't think it's possible. So once that like opened up the floodgates, I was like, I could get everything, including my beauty, on Amazon.
Yes.
The subscriptions are genius.
Beauty is one of the fastest growing categories on Amazon. That's not really surprising at this point. Amazon is reaching more than 100 million unique beauty consumers per month in the US.
Wow.
I wonder if they're trying to buy sunscreens from overseas or something. Amazon Beauty has incredibly broad and diverse customer reach from Gen Z to baby boomers.
Oh, yeah.
So where I feel like Sephora generally kind of leans more millennial, Gen Z, maybe now Gen Alpha, and maybe Ulta is more like millennial to boomer.
Yeah.
This kind of runs the gamut.
I feel like because like if you're in a family, you're all on one account, no matter where you live.
Oh, you're right.
So if you have your like high school kids or even college, like you could change the address, but you're still under like the Prime, and you can have it same day sometimes.
I cursed the day that we didn't have
I
Amazon
know,
Prime
I
in
know.
college. Can you imagine?
That's why I feel like there's a lot of reasons why beauty is booming on Amazon, but the access to all of the products and then the fact that you can get it literally sometimes same day, if not the next day, like between, it's like 5 and 7 a.m. before you wake up.
Yeah,
You're
it's
like,
just there.
Great.
I love that you can just put Prime and
Yes,
see when,
exactly.
or like the day that you need it. It's like same day. Great.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But if this were us maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I'm sure there's episodes of us where we're like, heed, be cautious.
Yes.
You don't know if these are actual legitimate products.
And I feel like that was before they really perfected their storefronts.
Yes.
Now it's like such a beautiful shopping experience. Sometimes you don't even realize you're like on Amazon. It's like you have these brands, you know, obviously build out their storefronts and it looks almost exactly like what you would be shopping on their website. It's extremely legitimate. It's beautiful. Sometimes they have, you know, exclusive products that you can't get anywhere else. Whereas, you know, a few years ago, like you said, we'd have to be like, where is this actually coming from, the actual brand? Or is it third party?
Yeah, is this some kind of random brand pretending?
Yes.
However, Amazon does know that that was a problem at one point. So they created this thing called the Brand Protection Report. They reached out to Sarah and myself, and they said that they're proud of the progress that the company has made in preventing counterfeits within its store and will not rest until they drive counterfeits to zero. So basically, in my interpretation of this, they saw that people had hesitancies, that they were scared, and they said, all right, we're not going to just try to eradicate some of this problem. We're going to try to literally make it so that you cannot it's not even a possibility to have counterfeits on our platform.
Yeah.
Amazon does a few things to help get it to this point, or to aspire to get to this point, which is they aggressively pursue anyone who violates its zero tolerance policy for counterfeit products, and they make sure that they are held accountable. In 2024, Amazon identified, seized, and appropriately disposed of more than 15 million counterfeit products worldwide, preventing them from harming customers and being resold elsewhere in the retail supply chain, which I actually really love that this call out exists because okay, great. You made sure they were not on your storefront. They're going to try to go somewhere else to sell them. They are actually taking the steps to make sure that these can't go anywhere else.
Yeah.
Which also is a deterrent for the people doing it because then they just have stock that they can't sell.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Counterfeiting is a huge problem across the entire retail industry. I mean, there's a reason why there are lawsuits to the tunes of hundreds of billions of dollars every year surrounding this. And that's why Amazon told us that they are so focused on combating it.
Yeah.
And you guys know we did Amazon Surprise last year, which was so fun. We went to Amazon Studios and filmed with Patty Dubroff and did our own little Amazon Surprise. So they are seeing and hearing the feedback not only from its customers, but from the brands that they work with as partners on their site, which I feel is good because if I'm a brand founder, I'm like, if you're not helping get it's not just dupes. It's like literally fake product that could be potentially harmful to somebody.
Yeah. Amazon uses advanced technology to verify products as genuine, simplifying brand protection for selling partners and safeguarding customers. When a product is enrolled in Amazon's transparency program and is listed for sale, Amazon can verify that the code is authentic before a product is shipped, ensuring only authentic products are delivered to customers. So more than 2.5 billion product units are verified as genuine. Beauty is one of the fastest growing categories within Amazon, as Kirby mentioned, with customers buying over 1 billion beauty products from Amazon just last year.
Yeah, I mean, I think that now when we talk to people about where they're buying their beauty products, especially with Los Angeles Confidential, Amazon is definitely high in the running.
Yeah.
However, we want to make sure that you guys, if you're buying, you know who you're buying from and what you're buying. And we've mentioned this previously on an episode or two, but we want to walk you through how to make sure that you're buying from an actual brand storefront. Thank God. And you're so right, Sarah. These storefronts have really changed everything because you can easily just click on who the seller is and then go look and be like, oh, that product is not usually sold with a bunch of other brands.
Exactly.
Like this is weird. When you're shopping, double check that you're buying from the actual brand storefront. In the small chance that a price looks too good to be true, this is a big one, where you're like, oh my God, I can get blah, blah, blah sunscreen for like $5. That's probably a red flag.
Yeah.
Or like an image looks a little sus. If those things are sus to you, then you definitely should not be purchasing it from that storefront. You also want to look on the brand website to see if they list Amazon as a partner. Most brands do this, some may not. So I wouldn't use that as like the Bible by any means. But then also what I like to do is I will go to Google and in quotes put Amazon whatever brand name I'm looking at. And to see if it pulls up any legitimate publications that have mentioned that you can buy their products on Amazon or link out to Amazon. Because typically if it's on a editorial website, they vetted it through affiliates.
Exactly.
So they know that it's actually being sold for real on Amazon.
Can I add one more?
Of course.
One of my favorite things about Amazon is the review part, obviously, that you can, leave your review for the product. Sometimes, and I'm not going to say this is like, again, Bible, but like if it's a very popular product, most of the time it has a lot of reviews. If it doesn't, that's very suspicious. Like if it has like one review, like you're like, I feel like this product has been out for a while, so it should have more reviews. And then also Amazon does this amazing thing where it flags if there's been a lot of returns.
Yes, I was going to say, that is my favorite feature
me
now.
too.
Where it's like, hello, this product has been returned.
Yes, like frequently.
Yes. And I immediately
I'm like, this is not good. No.
Even if it's, I don't even, it doesn't mean that it's counterfeit. It could just mean that it sucks.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I'm not going there. I'm not doing it.
Favorite thing about Amazon.
Same. That was like the most brilliant thing they have done. Truly.
Look
I'm
out
obsessed.
for the reviews. Most of the time, Amazon has already flagged it and has taken down that storefront. But sometimes, like these people are quick. So just look at the reviews and make sure that, it seems legitimate.
And then also you can make claims to Amazon. They give you a guarantee as a customer. So if you buy items sold and fulfilled by an independent seller, It covers both the timely delivery and the condition of your items. So you can make a claim directly to Amazon and they will determine if you are eligible for a refund. I have to tell you, I return things to Amazon all the time that I'm like, oh, actually, I didn't need this.
Yeah.
This doesn't work for me, whatever. I will buy tech for my phone for like recording and filming and stuff. And then sometimes when it comes, it doesn't work. Or it didn't come with the part that I needed. The return process has always been so smooth. I take it to Whole Foods.
Yeah. And customer service for Amazon is really great.
And then also Amazon wanted us to know, because we were like, well, can let's say you see that there is a counterfeit happening.
Be an Amazon Crime Stopper?
No, literally. Amazon Crime Stoppers. Yes, you can. So this is how you report suspicious activity. I love doing this. This is the me.
Of course Kirby does.
This is the justice-oriented person in me where I'm like, you're going down. You're going down. Okay, so it says that if you believe that any product, seller, or activity is suspicious, follow these steps to report it. The product page will have a place that you can do this. You can do this on desktop, mobile, or the shopping app. You just navigate to the product page. You select report an issue with this product or seller, and then select this product or content is illegal, unsafe, or suspicious, or I have an issue with the seller. I personally have an issue with counterfeit sellers to report suspicious activity. And then you follow the prompts to enter details about your issue and you can submit it.
You can count this as your volunteer work, helping the community.
I think Amazon Crime Stoppers would be an amazing reality show. Where it's just people
you knock on people's doors. Hey, show us your counterfeit sunscreen.
They're in the back, putting stuff in boxes.
That'd be so funny.
Okay, so if you want to learn more about this brand protection report and how Amazon is keeping you safe from counterfeits, frauds, and other forms of abuse, we recommend that you take a look at the report. It's I found it interesting because I like data and I like learning stuff about this.
Who doesn't? Thank you, Amazon. Okay, Kirby, let's talk about this story that you recently reported in your newsletter, Ahead of the Curve.
13 Lune founder Nikeo Grieco is being accused by investors of securities fraud, embezzling company funds for Taylor Swift tickets, family vacations, and more. I did talk to Nikeo myself after reporting this prior to publishing, and she gave me a statement over the phone. We talked for about 20 minutes. She refutes everything and every claim that's been made against her in this filing. 13 Lune, if you don't know, is this retailer that was primarily focused at the beginning on Black and brown founders, smaller independent Black and brown owned beauty brands specifically. It was co-founded in 2020 by Nikeo and her co-founder Patrick Herning, who
was a founder of 11 Honore, which made luxury plus-size clothing.
But in the last year, 13 Lune has been riddled with many, many problems. There were many vendors that claimed they had not been paid thousands of dollars worth of invoices from 13 Lune's partnership with JCPenney. JCPenney got involved and said, okay, we are now circumventing 13 Lune. We will be fulfilling all of these things for these brands versus 13 Lune having to do so.
Yes. So I don't know if we've talked about this before. I think we did on a previous.
I think we did.
Yes. So 13 Lune was basically like the beauty retailer within JCPenney, the way that like Sephora is inside Kohl's.
Yes. So that announcement is made, and JCPenney basically just says, we want everyone to be happy. We're jumping in so we can make sure everybody is taken care of. Then in late 2024, 13 Lune was acquired by S&R Capital through an insolvency process called Assignment for Benefit of Creditors, or an ABC. And while this may have been a positive thing for 13 Lune, it was positive because it essentially kept them from, it was an alternative to bankruptcy.
Yes.
They weren't filing for bankruptcy. Instead, this ABC happens and S&R Capital acquires the company in this new vision for 13 Lune 2.0, if you want to call it that. When this ABC takes place, her co-founder, Patrick Herning, exits the company and Grieco becomes the CEO. And the plaintiffs in this case, who are Beauty Generations Fund 1 LP and Relevance Capital 4 LP, the former is the venture capital fund that's managed by the latter, and they include 13 Lune in their portfolio. And their complaint is filed against Nikeo and I think like 6 or 7 other defendants, but they are claiming that she, as CEO, and the other named defendants allegedly falsely represented and concealed material information regarding the financial condition of the company and its intent to repay its debt according to this lawsuit. It was filed March 4th in Los Angeles. They allege 17 different complaints against her, including embezzlement of funds, family vacations, beauty treatments, concert tickets, streaming service fees, etc., while the company was in significant debt. These are huge claims that have been made. And I'm going to read an excerpt from the court filing. Nikeo Grieco wasted no time focusing that goal on herself as she sought millions of dollars from investors while personally enriching herself and her family, ignoring shareholder requests and later demands for information. Nikeo Grieco worked with other named defendants to orchestrate an assignment for the benefit of creditors, leaving shareholders in the dark and anointing herself as the new CEO on the other end of the ABC. The named defendants enticed a $10 million valuation demonstrated through an offer made to the plaintiffs, yet commenced an ABC for the purpose of wiping out equity and without reasonable consideration. This suit also states and alleges, that the net revenue for 13 Lune dropped from $24 million in 2023 to $7 million in 2024 when the ABC took place. Nikeo has substantial ownership in 13 Lune despite not investing any of her own money into it. That 13 Lune has substantial credit card debt. That's a lot of legal stuff that I'm sure your head is spinning. You can read literally all of the details that you would like to. One of the points of contention, though, that I think is almost like the basis of this is that the plaintiffs are claiming that they were offered an opportunity to invest in 13 Lune 2.0 last November. That, I think, is the bigger issue. I think that's what started the ball rolling here, where they felt that they were not getting clear communication, not only about the ABC, but about the financial status of the company. They say that the ABC took place months ago, but they still do not have any basic financial and contract information that they've repeatedly requested from the defendants. That's why they are taking action at this point. The personal spending is really interesting. I asked Nikeo about this. She said that she was not responsible for approving finances, financial expenses, or spending, that she was simply the face, the chief innovation officer, and the co-founder of the company, as well as the secretary of the board of the original 13 Lune. And that she was not responsible for approving any finances or any of the day-to-day finances whatsoever.
So basically, she is saying that she, in other words, was approved to spend the money the way that she did.
Yes. She says that the lawsuit is completely baseless and that she looks forward to debunking it in court. She stated that the restructuring of the company was properly handled and that when I pressed her about the claim that the plaintiffs did not have adequate transparency regarding the ABC that took place, she said that that claim is false and that anyone who had voter shares voted yes for the ABC process except for Relevance Ventures, one of the plaintiffs, who did not vote at all. And she said that they were given the opportunity to vote just like every other VC, that she included them in constant communication regarding the process, the bylaws, the votes that were voted on by all board members and existing venture capitalists outside of Relevance Ventures who did not participate in voting for the ABC. When I asked her about the false valuation claim, she said that the plaintiff wrote the valuation for this company and worked with previous management to bring that valuation out to market. She said that regarding defendant Riley taking the offer off of the table to invest in 13 Lune from the plaintiffs, that is false information. The investors bringing this suit inquired about investing in the new company, but the new company was not in an active raise at that time and they were informed. To end things, she says, I'm absolutely shocked by the case that I, as a Black woman in today's current environment, that was one of the board members of the previous company to be the one that has been sued. And to that point, for an investor I did not know well, to have access to bank documents and to obtain certain documents that no other LP or VC of our company has ever seen, to show up in a lawsuit by someone I barely know, I find shocking. It seems to me that for any management or VC not moving forward and a part of the new company comes off as sour grapes. So it's a lot. The accusations, there's many of them. Again, they are accusations. I'm just making that very clear. All of this is alleged. This is also a developing story. If you know anything or you have anything to share, my inbox is always open. You can also DM me on Instagram. But if you would like to support independent journalism, you can subscribe to Ahead of the Curb. It's my Substack. It's literally kirby.substack.com. And it will help me to keep covering stories like this.
So there's a hearing that is set in August.
Oh, you're right. There's a hearing set in August, and we'll go from there.